Hello, Crystal Palace, and welcome to the Upper Norwood Library Hub's Library Live Lunch. This is a place to share positive and local information and find out about the wonderful community in greater depth and try to keep us all connected during this time. Today, we are joined by none other than my co-host and the tech wizard, Galina Rin.
Hello! I'm in a fake library! Oh, yeah.
Technology.
I know, right? Amazing.
Rin is joining us today in a different format, not as a host, but as a member of our beloved community. Rin, what is it that you do?
So, as well as being the technical manager at the library, I'm also the technical manager for Disentangle Project, who run Attic Arts Club. And I have my own rock band called Death in Gloria, which is kind of what we're talking about today. And I basically use all the skills I have learnt over lockdown as a live streaming musician to bring the live stream channel to the library. And as you can see from my background today, we are now going to faff. I'm going to be very careful with my wording. We're now going to faff around with green screens and backgrounds because I am also doing the technical production for Daniel's show, which is Finding. I think it's Finding What is it? Neverland. Finding Neverland. We're going to be putting some nice comic book projections on the back and having some overlays. Like you can see this desk in front of me. It's not there. It's from my comic book. It's a comic book desk. I don't know which library I'm in, to be honest. It's not ours because our library's closed, but it's in somebody else's library. Their library kind of looks bigger than ours. I've done myself out of a job by putting a small library on here, I think. I can see that you guys are online, so if you have a question or comment, please drop it below. I can see Nick is online with us. Hi, Nick. How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, so basically, I just started learning how to live stream at the beginning of lockdown, and on the day one of lockdown, I turned around to Eleanor and said, "We're live streaming! Come on, let's go!" And then since then, I have been helping folks get online and doing whatever they want to do. Doing their skills, doing some music, whatever. And using all that technology and whatnot helped us win that Arts Council bid. And I'm about to produce all the shows that come on from a technical point of view. We're doing a bunch of kids stuff, and then there's lots of artists and poetry and shows, and they're all about to be launched on the channel. And it's basically all because I do music, audio, lights and stuff. I mean, this is just cheesy background we've got on today because I've got a green screen 2 hours ago and this is what I came up with. But I have, in my band project, I make music, comic books and animations. So I've also started learning how to animate in lockdown. And that will be being rolled out pretty soon as well, I guess.
You From the sounds of it, you have been using your lockdown to upskill and do things. Was that your intention when lockdown started, do you reckon? Were you like, let me use this time to be a green screen
Queen.
Queen.
Queen. So I always wanted, for the last 2 years, I've been setting up as a live stream career musician, basically, because I do a lot of animation and I have a lot of production and I'm the only person in my band. So to do that stuff on a live stage, it's a lot of production and you can't really run it but for one person. You need multiple people. You need a sound guy, you need a sound pal, a lighting pal, and a driver or whatever. But when you do it on live stream, you can do what you like. You can do whatever you want. You've got all the technology in front of you. You can get the computer to do half of it for you. And the production costs of a show become very low. But I'd always planned to do that kind of thing. And then when lockdown happened, I literally just got handed the keys to the castle. There you go, love. Stay at home. Don't leave. All you have to do is turn on your cameras and start learning how to do it. So I've learned everything. I've pretty much broken everything there is to break between getting on live streams and, every problem. I've had it. Every single problem, I've broken it and then tried to fix it again. And I keep on I live stream every morning with my band at 11 o'clock in the morning where I play 2 songs on my acoustic guitar and then just move on with the day. And we have a little gang following that comes along every morning at 11 o'clock and it's a nice little family. And there's people in there that I never met before, which is nice. And then I just bring in new gear on those sessions. So those sessions tend to go wrong quite a lot because I'll have just added a new camera or I'll have added something else that I hadn't had before. And we'll just work it out as we go along. And there's a lot of tech guys that come, not a lot, like 2% of those people are tech enthusiasts, home enthusiasts, shall we say, who work in the tech industry themselves and work for live stream companies and live stream themselves doing all sorts of stuff. So we often, problem solve live on air in the mornings in between some country songs or some grunge songs or stuff like that. And then at the same time, we were doing the covers cafe for the library on a Friday night to try and raise some money for the library. We do that too. We haven't done a covers cafe in a while because we've been going from festival to festival. But it is going to be back. It's back this Friday. So I will be performing in the library. I might bring my green screen with me. Why not? Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I'll see how lazy I feel on the day. And then we just do an hour from 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock of just country songs. You can choose the songs from my song list. And we do about an hour's worth of singing, basically. There's just so much of it. There's so much of it.
View that covers cafe. Same place?
Oh, yep, yep. It's viewable on the library's main page. It happens at 8 o'clock. I do sometimes do it on Instagram as well, just because I can. Just for laugh. Just for laugh. So yeah, that's 8 o'clock on the library's page. I will put up the event page for that again, because we don't have one at the moment for some reason. And then all the other live streams I do can be viewed at deathandgloria.com. Yeah. Woo, 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 woo.
So when you say that you met everything that could have gone wrong with learning how to use this technology, it did go wrong, and you learn those lessons from things going wrong. What was the biggest challenge that you faced?
It's basically just getting back on the horse after something terrible happens. Like I had early on in the lockdown, I did a gig for my first virtual Comic Con and just ruined it. Like it just didn't work. Whatever I'd done, I can't even remember what the problems were, but they were multiple. And I had to just throw them a video to use instead, which I did not want to do. And it was, it's heartbreaking when you lose it. It's a gig killer, basically. You don't want to let people down. So that was probably the worst of it. So then you go away and think about your life. Think very carefully about the choices you've made in life. And then come out a couple of days later, come out of that duvet and just get back on the horse. I think like me and Eleanor, like having Eleanor and Barbara to do this show with have been really great, because I wanted to do this show, but I know I'm not the presenter. I'm just not. I should not be the face of this. It's too gothy and too miserable, so somebody else had to do it. But having this show every day on the week is the only thing that got me out of bed a lot of the times. Like during the middle of lockdown, we're like, oh, okay, so I have to do something at 12, and then I put in a live stream on my own band channel at 11 o'clock in the morning. I think originally it was like 9 or something crazy in the morning, and I got rid of that because that was just too early. So yeah, I don't get out of bed until that happens. So 11 o'clock in the morning, I have to do it. The only reason I don't do it sometimes is because I've got paid work that I have to do. But other than that, it's been every day since lockdown started. So, and pretty much the same with this show. Oh yeah, so it's all there to play for, I think.
It's a good reason to get out of bed in the morning, and I feel like this library lunch has probably been quite a few people's reasons to kind of actually either engage on Facebook or as guests on the show. Because how many days was lockdown? That's a lot of guests. That's a lot of people that Eleanor and yourself have talked to. How many people do you reckon you've talked to? Have you got a tally?
No, I didn't keep the tally. Eleanor would know that. It would be on Eleanor's spreadsheet. You know that spreadsheet she gave us when she left, saying you girls could use this, and we haven't used it at all, and I've just been terrible. I used a doodle poll. I got a doodle poll. That does all the work for you. I don't know. So it was probably not at lockdown when we started. So when was lockdown? Like mid-March?
Mm.
So like probably April before we got into it, I think. Because something to do, I don't know why I was in conversation with Barbara, but yeah, she was like, oh yeah, I'll do that. So yeah, it was probably a couple of weeks after lockdown, and then it's been every weekday since then, with a couple of tech problems. Like the internet just goes down sometimes at home, and then we've had guests whose internet went down, so I was fine, but the internet on their side wasn't, and Eleanor was in the same catchment area as them, so we lost a couple through internet shortages. But yeah, mostly it's been fine. We did have a holiday. We had 2 days off at one point.
I think a holiday is necessary sometimes. And going forward, is this going to be something that you will do permanently with your band? And also in the library, can you see this as like a continuing structure of the way that you kind of engage with people?
Yeah, so for me, absolutely, I'm a Twitch affiliate already, and I do make a little bit of money through Twitch show streams. Not a lot, I'm not going to be quitting my day job at the library here at the library, but it's a good start. It's a good start. But I do a lot of studying about live streaming, and I basically just if I'm not live streaming myself, I'm listening to podcasts about live streaming, and most of the folks say it's like 3 to 4 years for a normal live streamer to start making money enough to live off, kind of affair. So it's a slog, but really from my band point of view, this is the future for me. We're gonna move out to the country, eat a lot of peaches. No, we're gonna move to the country, get a bigger room somewhere that I can just live stream from. And then that'll be how the band will exist, and I'll go out and play Comic Cons and gigs as and when, but the majority of it will be live streamed for sure. I mean, it's just a no-brainer nowadays, I think. But at the library, we are planning to make the library a live stream and YouTube makerspace. So with the money that we got from the Arts Council, we have bought some gear, which you're seeing in this camera. I've had to color correct this massively, by the way, just to try and get the background to work. And as I say, this is my first 2 hours of green screen fabulous queenness. We're going to build, we're not going to build, we're going to provide services within the library that people can come and make YouTube videos, or they can come and stream from the library, because nobody has the space at home in London for a live stream studio of their own. And especially if you've got a band, like if you're a solo musician or solo person, gamer or whatever, then you can do that from home reasonably easy. But if you're a band and you want to live stream, then you need a studio, and the venue has space for that. We have the rooms that don't get used outside of office hours, that could be used for all of that. Another thing with live streaming, especially for Twitch, is like people are after the American market, so just being able to stream at night is important. So you may not be able to stream at home because you've got kids or whatever, but if it's not a sound heavy thing that you're doing, you could live stream overnight at the library because it doesn't get used then. It's a big empty box at that time of night. So it was all those options we can look at. And I think we were planning for more cameras, and just a little bit more gear so that we can do some editing and maybe start teaching people how to edit. There's so much work. There's so much work at the moment with the library. Not all of it's paid. I'll guarantee you that. But there's so much stuff to do. So that's what we're looking for, basically.
It's weird. Like, I remember, even when I was younger, like I'm still in my youth, apparently.
You're still very young, love.
But it was that whole switch, like, originally everything moves on to video, and then you go TV, and then it's film. And now, like, all kids want to do, not all, obviously, but a lot of them, it's YouTube. Like, that is their media intake. But then there's loads of kids sitting at home who are like, I want to do that, and I can see the benefit of doing that, but they don't know how. So being able to offer that in the library, I'm sure you'll get quite a lot of takers.
Well, we hope so. We don't know what it's going to turn out as. I can't. Somebody asked me, like, what is your live stream channel going to look like in 6 months' time? I'm like, I have no idea. What are we all going to be doing in 6 months' time? I don't know. So it's difficult to say. But yeah, I guess if you had a kid at home and they wanted to start live streaming, but you weren't going to invest tons of their money into the cameras and whatnot because, you just don't know what that outcome's going to be, if the kid's going to keep it up or whatever, then you could they could live stream from the library, and we could set up a little booth for them, and they could do their live stream from our gear in our space. And then in theory, that would save you some money. Nick has just left us a little comment. Yeah, I can see it. I should be looking this way because that's where my screen is. Oh, I'm just like, oh, here. So Nick says, it's a great idea to set up a live stream center at the library. Good luck with that. Thank you very much. I'm guessing it'll be I don't know how anyone would get money from it. I don't know how we would charge for it. If anyone has any ideas on how to set that business up so that it's sustainable for the library, we're all ears. We are all ears. But it's very exciting. Well, our little team has grown even from just like being me doing all the technical over this time to you and Eleanor and Norman and Kate. Sorry, Kate. You're the most important person. You're the social media manager, and I almost forgot your name. I put it down to on-screen nerves. Oh yeah. So anyway, yeah, all the stuff is going on, and I guess if anyone can just help us work out how this stuff works, and if not, we'll just work it out ourselves because that's what we're good at. Yes.
I think that is an official call out. If anyone out there is a live streamer, a YouTuber, etc., and they want to get involved with a bit of library life, little community life, then hit us up. I'm laughing because I'm watching you in the library now, and I'm like, it's a very good green screen. It's very believable.
Yeah.
If you hadn't said, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's good. It's not terrible. I could have picked a better photo, I think, but it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, it's good.
It's for practice.
Yeah, I mean, for being 2 hours into green screening, I don't think it's too bad. I don't think it's that bad.
I would have thought that you had a career in it from the look of it. Well, that's the future. The green screen.
The green screen. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about in the library, or?
No, I think I've covered everything that we're doing in the library. My band project makes rock music, comic art, and animation, and I will have an album out quite soon. And the album launch party will hopefully be in December at the library. Again, using all the green screen technology, which I will have perfected by then. I'll be performing inside my own comic book. So the idea is that it's a story about a guy in an office, which made it quite kind of easy to animate in theory because there's a lot of repetitive scenes in it. But the music videos are his daydreams of stuff that has happened to him in the past, and the whole story revolves around how he has become disconnected from the world and is very depressed, and he just wants to end everything. But through minor admin errors, he accidentally destroys the entire planet. So I know you're giving me eyes. This happens every time. So I basically write songs and sci-fi stories about the end of humanity. So in the first one, I killed everyone with a depression virus, which was purposely set upon humanity by a little girl. So I didn't know. I'm not clairvoyant. That's just what happened. And then the second one, it's death by admin. So a guy will destroy the world by accident. So I'm gonna be performing inside my own comic book, and there'll be scenes in the music videos where the audience can control the animations that they see. So they'll be able to every time that video was played, it'll never be the same twice because the audience will be able to press buttons to make the backgrounds change however they want in the back. If that makes sense. It doesn't make sense. I can see it in your face. It makes no sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. You're blowing my mind here. I'm like, wow, this is actually the future of sci-fi storytelling.
Yeah, it was originally supposed to be a projection mapped story that we were going to do as a physical theatre piece in the library with a real actor. And then I was going to play in the middle of the audience and be made into a hologram, which would be projected onto the theatre space. But that all came crashing down when the oil COVID happened and we lost all funding. So now we're doing it live stream. And the script for that has been written by Disentangled, Norman Murray at Disentangled Productions. So it's a joint effort. The whole piece will end up being a joint effort between the library, my band project, and Disentangle. So yeah, there we go.
It sounds amazing.
I
can't wait. And you said that is this December.
It'll be sometime in December. Yeah, sometime.
Wow, I personally can't wait. What's that Black Mirror episode where they get to choose? I can't think of it. they get to choose the path of the episode. Will it be a bit like that, where they like, okay, if you make this decision, you're then led, and there's like 50 different outcomes.
No.
A bit like that.
No,
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 not like that.
not like
Okay.
that. But I
So
did think about doing your own adventure, but I think that's probably for next, like a couple of albums down. I'd like to go for like full VR next time, virtual reality on the next album, so that might lend itself a little bit to that if we're going to be putting headsets on people and generally just having them run around.
can you give us any teasers, any tasters? What's one of the song names?
Oh, I don't know. Aesthetically Controlled is the song title off the third album, but the third album will be Death by Art. So basically, it revolves around two storylines. The first is the Martians are playing, are making a galactic artwork that destroys Earth, but through no malice, but just completely, they like what it looks like aesthetically. And at the same time, there is a young couple who are kind of like a Romeo and Juliet character, and they have decided that they will destroy themselves across London so that their essence will always be in the city that they love, and they will always be mixed together in this beautiful death display, basically.
Could you actually see this as being a book as well as an album, or would you rather keep it to musical format?
No, it's basically the albums have very few songs in them because they have comic books. They are physical comic books as well. So the first album had 7 songs, 7 pages of a comic book that went along with it. And then this next album, my second album, has 5 songs and 12 comic book pages and 12 animated music videos. And then I don't know how many the third one will have. I mean, I'm pretty much up to album 7 in ideas. I just have to get them done. And they're just a lot of work, so I don't get through them very fast.
So I think, honestly, you're evolutionizing, one or the other, where music can go as kind of a collaborative and collective piece of work. It's not just the music, it's the artwork, it's the story, it's the people involved.
Yeah.
You're inspiring.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just bored, so I do a lot of this kind of stuff. Anyway, it's fun. Hey, get to stay in my house, do some stuff.
You're not bored. You're not boring. This led you to this, so the boredness was worth it, obviously.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. We better wrap up there. Shall we wrap up there? I think we should.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll just finish off by putting in a link here to. Let me just copy this and get on the right screen. Sorry, I'm also still doing all the tech, but while I'm on these shows, I'm gonna put it in the link to Finding Neverland, which is 30th of Sunday. Sunday, the 30th of August, and where you'll be able to see what I've learned between Green Screen Day number 1, which is today, and that show. And hopefully we'll have some good stuff will have come out of it by then. So, yep. And I'll also put in the links to donate to the library. So our live streams collect money for keeping the library open because we love the library. And you can donate via text message as well as on the internet. Oh, yes. And we've raised £942, as you can see there, across our live streams. Most of that was from Daniel's West End musical, which I think he did like £800 in 2 hours on there. And actually with Gifted, that's gone up to over 1,000. So hopefully the Finding Neverland will do just as well. just as well.
I'm sure it will.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyway, I think that's all we've got time for. You think so?
Let's wrap it up there.
All right, cool. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. That's super nice, super cool, super happy times. All right, see you all tomorrow when we will have Palace App will be with us tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.